can watch it later. All right. So our recording should be going here now. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to College Algebra. I am Matthew Husky, your instructor, coming to you live from my basement. I've got a kid next door who's watching Bambi, who's also got quite a nasty cough right now. I'm not convinced she has COVID, if that makes anyone feel any better. But anyway, let's see here. So this is the course Canvas page. If you have not logged into Canvas yet, you can certainly log in and follow along with me. Along the side here, you'll find the syllabus tab, which is where you will find the syllabus for our class. I've gone ahead and opened it here. So this should hopefully confirm that you're in the right place. In the event we meet in person, this will be the place where it happens, Young 204. For my office hours, we're basically going to do as much of this class as we can in an online format. If you want to meet with me to go over homework questions that are giving you problems, I will be hosting Zoom meetings, or I will actually be in the classroom during our standard meeting time. I'm also going to have virtual office hours on Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 to 1. And I'll make a different Zoom link for my office hours. And it'll be just the same Zoom link every time. So you don't have to do a different one. I'll just use the same link over and over again. And then when we have our subsequent class meetings, because the university is deemed we're going to do the first 2 weeks exclusively online, just use the exact same Zoom meeting link that you used this morning. We're just going to use the same one over and over again. And so let me just stop for a second. So everybody's with me, I trust. Everything's okay? All right. So let's go back to the syllabus here. So you've got the kind of course description, all the sort of fine print. You can kind of read that to your heart's desire. The next thing I want to mention is the textbook. I had a few people ask me this question. There's a MyMathLab account that you're going to need to get, and I should probably tweak the syllabus to also mention. You need a MyMathLab account. Go ahead and type that right now. So you need MyMathLab access from Pearson, which is the textbook publishing company that makes MyMathLab. If you've never used it before, you can find it mighty easily if you just do a Google search of MyMathLab, all one word, and it'll pull it up right there for you. There's the login page for it. Now, there's basically a two-stage process to getting on MyMathLab if you've never used it before. So you have to purchase a student account, which is like your own individual ID number. And it's typically like 16 or 20 digits long. It's kind of a mix of letters and numbers. You need to get a student ID first. There's two ways you can get one of which is you can buy it directly from this website. In addition, if you're buying your materials from the university bookstore, you're gonna wanna make sure that what you're buying is a MyMathLab access code. If you get the textbook, typically they will have a little cardboard thing in there that it's got like one of those lottery scratch off things where you scratch it off and it's got the code underneath it. So usually if you buy the actual textbook, it will come with My Math Lab access. What I will say is this: if you want a hard copy of the textbook, you are perfectly welcome to get one. You don't necessarily need the book. The main thing you need is My Math Lab access. We're going to be doing virtually everything online in this course using My Math Lab. So I've gone ahead and logged in to our course page here. So after you get your account set up with your student number, I posted in the announcements of our Canvas page. I'll double check that I did. I'm almost positive I did. Some of you have actually joined the course already. So that, yeah, so it's got this My Math Lab registration instructions. It's under announcements. And so if you go in there and open that thing up, it's got this PDF that you can look at, and it basically walks you through where to go, and it'll ask you for a course code. So you provide the code for the course, and after you log in and have a student account created, you can provide it the course code, which is right here. It's my last name with this number right after it, 52744. So you give it the course code, and that lets you join the class. So when you log in, it should look something like this. We are right here on Monday the 24th. I've set the first set of due dates all the way to the end of next week, just because usually there's always some headaches getting the technology up and running the first couple weeks of school. If you're running into any kind of problems getting on My Math Lab, please let me know, and let me know soon, because the sooner we can start addressing your issues, the sooner you can get logged on and get things going there. So on the calendar, it's kind of showing you that you've got a whole bunch of things coming up on the 4th. So what you'll see is it'll tell you, these are basically the first 2 weeks of homework assignments. So basically the goal is to get through 3 sections a week. And again, I made this first set due on September 4th, just to give you plenty of lead time in case you have technological problems. So it'll tell you what the homework problem is. It also, all the due dates are at 11:59. They don't do midnight because that is technically the next day. That's technically the start of September 5th, but strictly speaking, it's due on September 4th, and you have until right up until midnight. It also happens to tell you how many questions each assignment is. Some of them you may notice are a bit longer than others, but the longer ones, on the flip side, sometimes the questions are usually a little quicker. So some of the things are labeled homework. That's just going to be a set of homework problems for you to do. The other thing that it'll have is these things called lecture. So what you can do, I'll open up this first one here. You go into lecture 1.1, and this is basically one-stop shopping for all the stuff that you could possibly want to know. So if you open this thing, let's see, this one is the PowerPoint. So if we click on this thing, it'll open a PowerPoint presentation for us. And we'll give it a minute here. And so this is basically just a class presentation. Here it is right there. So it's got some sort of highlights of some of the main ideas, as well as kind of showing you there's 7 different things that you're going to try to accomplish. It's got some kind of just general information here. The first objective is about using the distance formula. And so they've got an example where they've got two different points. They're first doing it by solving a picture, by doing it with a picture, and then they move on to doing the actual formula for doing that, which they've got right here. And so anyway, you can go through this PowerPoint, and it's got some examples that you can kind of read and follow along. So that's the first thing. And you can also open up this next thing, which is the same topics, only with what the textbook looks like. This is part of why, if you're only buying a MyMathLab account, you don't necessarily need the book per se, because anything that you would possibly need access to, you can just access online with the e-text. Now, if you're like me, I kind of get frustrated with the amount of time it takes to load different pages on this thing. I find for myself, it's easier to flip through actual pages rather than wait for this thing to take its dear sweet time to load. But okay, there you go. So it looks very similar. I have noticed the examples are slightly different from the PowerPoint, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It gives you some variety in the examples that you are seeing. The textbook also has some stuff kind of describing to you how to use a graphing calculator. So that's what the e-text looks like. And then the other thing you can do, here's a whole bunch of videos here. We've been talking about the distance formula, which is actually this one down here, this video. All these things down at the bottom, these author in action. You can see Mr. Sullivan, whatever his name is. It's a video here. And so it's a video of the textbook's author walking you through a sample problem of how to find distance. So between all of these things, you've got lots of different resources here to access and start the process of learning the material. After you do that stuff, so basically where you'd want to start with each section, with each topic, is you'd want to start with the assignments that are called lecture and just go through, look through the PowerPoint. I would certainly encourage you to take notes on it. And then after you go through the things called lecture, then move on to the things called assignment. And you can go through the process of completing the actual homework problems that go with that section. So let's go back to the syllabus here. I mentioned a calculator. You're going to want either a TI-83 or a TI-84. I would definitely encourage you to get one of those two calculators. The TI-83 has been around for a while. If money is tight, you might be able to find one on the cheap that's used online. Even the TI-84 is not the top of the line model anymore. They've got these TI Inspire things that's like the next generation version calculator. A TI-84 will do you just fine for this course. I would highly encourage you to get one. All the examples that you will see are going to be making use of that model of calculator. If you have a different one, you're kind of on your own. I can do my best to try to help you figure it out. If worse comes to worse, Microsoft Excel is also an option, but it is well worth the money to get one of these two brands of calculator. So that's what we've got so far. I'm just gonna check in, make sure nobody's got any comments or anything. Looks like everybody's A-okay. All right. So So this is just kind of a laundry list of all the different things that you're expected to know. So the grading breakdown, there's a mix of participation as well as homework. We're also going to have 4 exams and a final exam. And let me just double check the schedule. Because what do we have? We've got exam 1, 2, exam 3, 4, exam 5, exam 10, 11. Yes, there are indeed 4 exams. So the exams are going to be weighted as 50% of the grade. The final is 25%. The online homework counts as 20%. There's also a bit that counts as participation. So here's one thing I want to point out about these lecture assignments. Guess what, my friends? You do get points toward your grades. That's what this participation thing entails. You do get points for opening the lecture assignments, looking through the PowerPoint, looking through the e-text, and watching those videos. It's the easiest credit that you will earn. So you do get a portion of homework points toward completing the lecture assignments I was just talking about. As I said, it should be the easiest thing to get points for in the world. If you show up and watch the videos, open the PowerPoints and e-text, you can get points for that. If you're worried about needing extra points when it comes to like tests and homework and things, just bear that in mind, that that's a very easy way to get credit. So anyway, when it comes to the lectures, I mentioned that I would highly encourage you to take notes as you're going through the lecture assignments. So as you look through the PowerPoints, try the examples yourself, actually take the time to write them down. When you watch the video examples, you can always go back and rewind and watch it over again if it doesn't click the first time. But I would highly encourage you to take notes on the video examples as well. All of the exams that you're going to take will be online. I haven't put them out there yet because we're not there yet. But these exams that are listed in the syllabus, the final exam as well, those are all going to be taken through my math lab. You are allowed to use notes on your exams. You're allowed to use the textbook. You can honestly use any resources that are available to you. The only exception to that is you can't use another person. All the work does need to be your own work. You cannot work together with somebody. You can't ask your brother-in-law who's really good at math. You do need to do the work yourself. But while you're taking your exams, you can look at your notes. You can go back and maybe watch the videos even. But just also be aware the exams will have a time limit on them. So having your own notes written down on paper beforehand is probably going to be a lot better than trying to dig through all the online resources, and you run the risk of maybe making your computer crash while you're trying to watch videos in the middle of the test. So I would kind of advise against that. But like I said, go through these lecture assignments, take good notes, exactly the same as if you were in a traditional classroom. And those notes are fair game for when you take your test. As far as my role in all of this, again, during our normal class periods, I'll make myself available. I'll answer questions about homework. I will have my Zoom office hours that you can ask me questions. But practically all of this course you can complete entirely online. So it may be that maybe I won't see much of you over the course of the semester, but If you're getting your work completed, then that's perfectly fine. Okay. So we got someone asking if you can completely do it remotely. The answer is basically yes. The university has stipulated the first 2 weeks will be online. Honestly, you can do that through the entirety of the semester. I will be monitoring attendance, but the way I will check that attendance is when you are active in my math lab. On my end of things, I am able to access and see when you've logged on, when you've worked, how long you have worked, when you've submitted things. So even if you don't make a physical appearance in the classroom, I can still assess your attendance, because I know for some people with like scholarship and financial aid, you have to be in good attendance. Be aware that is a legit way to attend and participate. So as I said, it's possible to do it for pretty much the entire course. Let's see, do we plan to go back to hybrid in-person instruction? So the university's plan right now is after 2 weeks, people can start coming back to the classroom. And so I will, when will that be? Let's look at the calendar here. So September 7th, it looks like. So starting September 7th, I will, health of my children permitting, I will start going to the classroom, and the main thing at that point is you can come to class. I will be there. I will be happy to go over examples with you. I will be happy to help you with homework problems that you have. When it comes to like traditional lectures and stuff, I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing that, because you have access to all that stuff online. The hybrid model, when we go back to a more normal quote unquote scenario, I will be in the classroom. I will be there to take your questions. I will go over homework problems with you if you need me to. That having been said, you can continue to participate online if you don't necessarily need help with something. You don't necessarily need to come, as long as I can see online that you're engaged, that you're completing the work, and that you're getting done what you need to. So hopefully that clarifies things a little bit. We'll see if they open things back up after 2 weeks, or if they decide to keep closed. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. But again, to reiterate, you can, for all intents and purposes, complete this class entirely online, and that's fine. I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of grief if you're not parking your keister in a chair at a specific time and place. If I can log in and see that you're completing things and that you're regularly getting done what you need to get done and making things happen, then you're going to be all right in my book. So that's kind of what my math lab looks like. That's kind of the breakdown for the grades. So you'll get a portion of your grade devoted to completing the lecture assignments. Another portion of your grade is going to go to the completing the homework assignments. Now, the My Math Lab homework is going to grade you based on actually doing the problems correctly. You do get multiple attempts. I think it's I think it's 3 attempts maybe. I'm not remembering offhand. But you do tend to get multiple attempts, and it's got like a help button where it'll actually direct you to specific examples related to that problem. And then, as I said, the exams will be administered online through My Math Lab, and the final will be administered online through My Math Lab as well. This is just kind of a lot of the fine print stuff. Attendance, I've already kind of outlined here. The short of it, because we're doing this kind of online hybrid format, is at a bare minimum, I should be able to see that you've had some sort of online activity, at least at a bare minimum, like once a week. So, I mean, if you power through and do like 4 hours on a Monday and then don't come back until maybe like Sunday afternoon or even the next Monday, that's okay. I just need to be able to see that you're regularly logging in, getting stuff done, and finishing what needs to get finished. So all the homework is online. Make sure to keep up to date. We're going to have 4 exams. In order to do well on the exams, you do need to complete the homework beforehand. The homework and the exams are going to look very similar to each other. This I should probably up to date. I should probably make up to date because we're actually going to do the final exam online as well. So I'll go ahead and tweak that right now. With makeup exams, again, there's not, no makeup exams are given. With the way the exams are going to work, I'm going to post them the week that they're listed on the syllabus. So if we go down here, the first one is going to come your way the week of September 14th. That's going to be over chapters 1 and 2. What I'll do as we get closer, I'll give you more information, but what I'll probably do is like post the exam on like Sunday night, and you'll have until say Friday night to complete it. So you'll have, you'll have a window of time during that week to complete the exam. You could take it like Tuesday afternoon. You could take it in the middle of the night on Thursday. It's not a big deal to me when you do it, but you will get 1 attempt. You'll have a window of time to complete it, and provided you can complete it by the final due date, it's not a big deal to me when it gets completed, but you'll have a window to finish it. And so we'll do that with each of the 4 exams. Unlike the homework problems, you will get only 1 attempt to finish the exam. On the off chance, like your internet connection is down, or your house blows up, or the possums that live in your attic start going rabid, I don't know, whatever it is. If there's some sort of extenuating circumstance where you're like, hey, Mr. Husky, I was trying to finish it last minute on Friday, some horrible external set of circumstances like hit me, can you please open the exam up again because my internet connection crashed when I was right in the middle of it? And you know, just send me an email. We can work things out. I might kind of raise my eyebrows a little bit if that happens every single time. But if you're ever having a problem, don't hesitate to send me an email, reach out, let me know that something's up. You know, maybe you're sick and you think, you know, I'm sick right now. Can I have a slightly longer window to finish the exam? And, you know, just give me a heads up. Sending me an email is a great way to reach out. If you ever send me an email, I'll try to get back to you within about 24 hours. Even if it's just an acknowledgement that, yes, I've read your problem, I might need to follow up. And it might take a little longer, but I'll at least try to acknowledge the message within 24 hours. As we get closer to the exams, I'll go into this in more detail. But basically, when we take the exams and also the final, what I will ask you to do is either send me a scan or a picture of written work. And then for the exams, you can send me a copy of the written work you've done along with your test so that I can award partial credit. Occasionally, even I have awarded students full credit because like they had the right answer, but like they didn't type it in exactly the way that my math lab is expecting. Usually the program is pretty good about that, but just know you'll have a way to earn partial credit for the exams. While you take the exam, just write stuff down as you're doing it, just like you would if it was an actual paper and pencil test. And then as we get closer, I'll give you more of the details about what I'm expecting. But I will want you to submit written work to me to go with your exam, and that will be a way for you to earn partial credit or maybe even full credit if you just type something in that doesn't quite match what my math lab is expecting. There's all this stuff on the thing with disabilities and accommodations. I have gotten stuff from the Lindenwood administration about people who have accommodations. That having been said, if that applies to you, go ahead and follow up with me in an email just saying you have an accommodation. The main thing I have in mind is if you have an accommodation that says you get extended time on a test, just follow up with me, send me a short email saying that applies to you. And what I can do is adjust the timer limit on my math lab so that instead of having 60 minutes, I can give you 120 minutes. So if any accommodation applies to you that you'll want to make use of, just email me and just be in communication so that we can work out what you need for that. Academic integrity, don't cheat. Cheating's bad. As I said before, it's perfectly legal to use notes or maybe even some other resources, but notes are probably the fastest since you have a time limit. It's perfectly legit to use notes on the exams while you're taking them. Having another person help you or do it for you, that is cheating. So definitely don't do that. Let's see here. So someone's asking for my email. So let's go back up to the top here because it should be. Apparently I did not actually put that on the syllabus. Why is this? Okay, hold on. Okay, let's start screen sharing again. So there's two places where I've put my email. So this is on the syllabus page of Canvas here. So I've got my email right there, and I'll just go ahead and read it to you. It's mhusky@lindenwood.edu. I've got that on the syllabus page. On the announcements page, I think I put it there too when I gave everybody the My Math Lab login. Because I even had people who were really, yeah, so on the My Math Lab thing, I put my email there as well. So it's mhusky, mhusky. I will just go ahead and say this. People, for whatever reason, have a tendency to want to misspell my last name, which is Husky. That kind of surprises me because it's spelled exactly like the breed of dog. Please know it is not Huskey. There are some people who spell it that way. My name is not spelled with an E. Do not put an E in there. I kid you not, that in my years of teaching, people have been like, why haven't you replied to my email? And it turned out it was because they can't spell my last name. So consider yourselves warned. Husky, Husky, M Husky. That's me, that's my name. So there's 2 different places in Canvas where I've posted it. Hopefully I've said it enough that you all can remember it. So M Husky, there it is. Let's see. So let's go back to the syllabus here and see if there's, I think we've gone over most of the fine print here. The things are subject to change if I need to change them. Standard disclaimer. Here's kind of at the very end of the syllabus, this is kind of the course outline. And these will also sync up with the due dates of the assignments in my math lab. But basically, the plan is we're going to do roughly 3 sections a week. And so the week of September 14th is when the first exam is going to come your way. It's going to be over chapters 1 and 2. Again, you'll have a window of time to complete that. So just be aware and plan accordingly. Chapters 3 and 4 together is the next exam, which is going to happen the week of October 12th. Chapter 5 is kind of a longer one all by itself. So chapter 5 is going to happen the week of November 2nd, that exam. And then after that, we're going to do kind of bits and pieces from chapters 10 and 11. We're not doing them in their entirety. The week, I guess that's actually the week of Thanksgiving. But that week will be the week of the last normal exam. Once that one is finished, after that, pretty much the only thing left is just kind of reviewing everything. And then the week of December 7th, that is when the final exam will happen. If I remember correctly, Lindenwood's plan for the semester, even if we do meet in person, I remember reading that basically the plan is everyone goes home for Thanksgiving and then doesn't come back. So the last 2 weeks are planned to be exclusively online anyway, just in light of concerns about COVID and all that stuff. But anyway, that's kind of our plan and outline here. So that's most of our time. So as I said, next Wednesday, 8 a.m., I'll use this exact same Zoom link. And for that meeting, it's going to be a lot less of, well, there'll still be, I guess, some of me talking. The next time we meet Wednesday morning, I'm going to kind of turn that all over to you. So if you have something that's giving you problems, I would say reserve it for actual math questions as opposed to just saying, hey, I can't log in, because troubleshooting specific computer problems you're having is maybe more of a one-on-one thing. But like you could say, hey, I've got this homework problem. I've tried it. It tells me it's wrong. I don't understand why. Can you go over it with me and everybody? That's kind of what Wednesday will look like. And if you want to come to my Zoom office hours, I won't be having them today, but starting on Wednesday, I'll have the link for the Zoom office hours that I'll hold as well. And that's going to be from, I I think 12 to 1 on Mondays and Wednesdays. So there's basically 2 Zoom links you will ever need, because I'm going to keep reusing the same ones over and over again. You already have the one for class sessions. And again, the main thing, come if you have questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. Anything you could possibly want or need is out there already, but if the way the video explains it isn't clicking with you, I can maybe try it myself and help you that way. So that's all that I have for everybody. So if you have a question, feel free to ask me now, but that's all I got. I'm also I've been recording this, hopefully. I'm pretty sure I hit record at some point in there. So I'll post this video and have it up in Canvas that you can watch it again as well, in case you need to go back to reference anything. Unless any of you have anything, that's all I got. So I'm looking forward to a great semester with you all. Don't hesitate to reach out to me via email. You can come chill out with me in Zoom, keep me company. And if you have questions, and unless you got anything, let's see, Ethan, do you got a question there for me?
Yeah, I was just curious. I just had it and I lost it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I completely blanked. Never mind.
Okay. If it comes back to you, don't hesitate to just write me an email. So again, MHusky, MHUSKY. Do not put an E in my last name. Okay. That's all I got. So thanks for coming, everybody. I'll put this video out there for you. And here's to a great, if slightly unusual, semester. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.